Now is your time to flex.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the 13th floor. It's another beautiful day on the 13th floor where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing. Of course, I am the moderator, B. Jones, and I'm happy to be here with Mr. Positivity, aka Scooby, aka the CMO, Arthur Faison, better known as Art to Us. What's happening, bro?
What's going on, man? I am glad to be here, finally stepping up to the plate to tell my story. And I just want to dab real quick at our last person, Very Refresh. He said there'll be no one above or better. So I'm challenging myself to make this one. This story is going to be amazing.
All right, there it is. We're going to jump right into it. Of course, if you've been following us, we're introducing everybody from the Fledgeology team. So now it is the CMO's turn, stepping up to the plate. Really, man, we're going to follow the same format. So just jump right in, bro. Tell us where you from, where you grew up, and we're going to let it take off from there.
All right, well, let's start off with this. So, in South Philadelphia, born and raised. No, I'm just kidding. I won't go through that process. But was born in South Philly. South Philly, only child of a family, large family. I really enjoyed Philadelphia area. The school down there, went to Bartram Business Magnet Technical Institute. So shout out to the BBMTI, even though the school's not there anymore. We were the last pioneers to come out of that business annex of Bartram. So shout out to Bartram in the West Philly area. After that, well, I would say we're going to go from there. So after I got out of high school, did things while I was in school, did a lot of traveling internationally. So I danced professionally. So from the age of 13 to about 18, I was a traveling professional, ambassador for the U.S. dancing. So I've traveled to Lima, Peru, traveled to Australia, traveled to where was that? Anguilla. Just did big things for the U.S. and represented to bring some peace and some calmness and some love to the world. So I am world renowned. I am, a performer by heart and a performer on stage, and I will give you energy no matter where you are.
Easy, man.
That's the youth story.
So traveling the world dancing, what type of dance did you do?
Oh man, I did everything. My mom told me she wanted me to not fall into the hole of the Philadelphia trap, which you can get in there and not get out and just get stuck in the same mindset. So she wanted me to be something different. So I learned ballet, I learned jazz, I learned modern, I learned tap. Obviously hip hop isn't great in our soul, but I learned that the right way.
Right.
African dance. So I did it all. Like I did all styles, all types. So it was great.
Okay, cool.
And kept respect in the neighborhood on top of that. So it didn't matter if I was dancing or not. They all knew me. I had some really crazy uncles.
That was the next question, man. That was definitely going to jump into that because, dancing as a male, it's not your typical, I guess, extracurricular activity. So how was that growing up? Did you deal with a lot of pressure from your peers? Did you deal with a lot of bullying? What was that like?
And I've always been the tall guy. So, in my class, I was always the last guy in line. Even though my name started with an A or an F, I was always in the back of the line. So I never had the issue with the bullying. I had one bully that I had to take care of back in 6th grade at Pepper. I don't remember your name, but you know who you are, and I took you out. So I had to deal with that. But around the neighborhood, it was just fun time. I mean, everyone knew who I was. Everyone knew my family. So they were kind of more jealous. Like, man, Art got all these girls around him. He's on the stage with them, enjoying himself. So they saw it from that point of view, not from anything else. Because it was just art.
Cool, man. So I just want to point out to the listeners, we're a couple minutes in now, and his voice sounds exactly the same as it did when he was sick, right? Just pointing that
out. I'm working on that. This is the art voice you get.
So growing up in Philly, that's where you were born and raised the whole time? No traveling, no other places?
No, I mean that's where I was. I mean, my mom took me to other parts of the country to see for vacation and things like that. But no, I was homebound. I didn't have to travel anywhere. I spent all my 18 years in Philadelphia, different parts of it, in Darby and South Philly, my grandma's house with them. But no, I mean, mom's always there for me. Mom and dad broke up when I was around maybe 12. But they were always still in the family, so I never had to deal with not knowing my dad or doing anything. They always were close to Philadelphia. You're only 10 blocks away. You're in your next neighborhood, so never had an issue. Always a Philadelphia guy. Always traveled, but I did get a chance to go out to. My mom made sure I got to travel, so I went to California as a young boy to see, flew on the airplane for the first time, on the vacations all the time. So even though it was tough, she made sure that I got an experience that was not the normal. So she was a great. I shout out my mom did a great job. She always made sure that I got things that I needed. Not always wanted, but I needed. Being the only child.
Okay. So are we talking to another mama's boy?
Oh yeah, definitely. And mom boy until about the age of 14, and that's when my stepdad came in the picture, and that changed the game. Okay,
cool. So, what would you say as a youth, or who rather would be your biggest influence?
As a youth, my biggest influence would have to be, as a youth, who I look up to, I think, I don't know, I didn't really have. My grandpa, I guess my grandpa was, we call him, okay, so let's prerequisite this with a funny story from my grandfather. Well, my grandfather was a gangster, like hardcore.
Look at the Fledgeology team. We got gangsters. Parents is the OGs all across the board.
So they called him Piggy, and Piggy would make sure that, he took care of things. So he showed me how to be a man. So he had all daughters, so I have all aunts. Asked my mom, and he made sure that he took care of me, so I got to hang out with him. He was municipal. Trash man would be the word they used back then, but now municipal, whatever, blah blah, is his title. But he did that, and he retired for years. Retired after that, but he showed me a lot of things. He showed me how to be a man as a young boy. Made sure that I was doing the right thing, and then kept me around the thugs so that I can make sure that I was able to handle myself in the real world. So I appreciate that. And that's what it was when I was young. So that helped me out a lot.
Okay, cool. And how long did you we'll go back to the dancing thing? How long did you do that?
I did that from 13 all the way until end of college, so 21.
Okay. What was where was your favorite place to go since you went all around the world?
Oh man, I will at a drop of a hat go back to Australia.
Really?
If you don't know Australia, as a black man in Australia, you are kind of like worship, because your skin complexion, they've never seen that. They don't get to see that in person. They only see it on movies. So as a real person there who can talk, I hate to say this, but you can speak well. You can go out there and you're tall and you're just athletic looking. They were just fascinated, and it was just a very peaceful, nice, unbiased place to go. So I would go back there in a snap finger.
Cool, man. And what's your favorite dance? Like, what's your favorite, I guess, genre of dance?
Man, my favorite genre of dance would have to be modern, because it allows you to be free and do the things you want to do. There's like no rules to modern. I mean, it's kind of similar to hip hop without the fast moving pace, but with modern style, you gotta really focus on your lines and focus on your end goal. But it's it just lets you move fluidity through the movement. So it's really cool and exciting, and you tell stories. You tell stories with your body. That's what makes modern awesome.
While you were on stage, was it all solo stuff, or were you part of a group, a team? Like, did you do?
It was a large group. We had our Positivity to the Point was the name of the group, from PBPAC, which is Point Breeze Performing Arts Center. So shout out to all my PBPAC or my PBPAC people, my Positivity to the Point people that's listening to this. It was a bunch of us. We all started. It was girls, guys. There was 4 guys that started off with us. My best friend Anthony Burrell. Some of you guys might know him from Mariah Carey, Beyonce, or he's still in the game, holding strong. And then my boy Bobby, he's right now in Japan, and my boy Adam, a cousin to me. We were the original guys in the group, and other than that, it was like 12 other girls. So I would name all the girls, but I go on for hours.
Sounds like a good ratio.
Yes, it was.
Hey man, you ever have one of those moments on stage where you just like freeze up?
You know what? No, I didn't, because my mom will always make me dance in front of the family. So I'm always, even to this day, she'll still say, "Hey, go boy, I'm bust a move." because she's old school, so she must have moved. It's her slagging. But no, I never had an issue with just getting on stage and going. I mean, at first, just seeing the crowd and your heart goes, the energy pumping through you. But as far as getting nervous and freezing, nah, I've always been able to entertain and just go out there without fear. So it's fun.
So the next time the team gets together, once we do our next event, Fledgeology, we having Art open up with his rendition of whatever modern dance, so we can see him bust a move real quick.
And now that was years ago. I'll get out there, but it ain't gonna be as flexible as I used to be. I could definitely make some moves, but yeah, man, that's you gotta do that all the time. Your body flexibility as you get older, it slows down. It's like you see more people turn to choreography and choreographers versus dancers.
Right.
You're like, okay, I know what you should do,
right,
but I can't go that high anymore. My legs don't go that high, but yours can, so you pick it up higher.
Easy, man. That's that natural maturation process, man. You should be on that. That's what's up.
Exactly.
So moving through high school, where'd you end up going to college at, man? Give us a glimpse into what your college career was like.
So like all my Fledge mates, I went to the University of Miami, the U. I was there during the heyday, 98 to 2003. So I got to see all those championships. I got to see all those players, and the energy of the U was crazy. It's a funny story about the U and how I got there, because no one else has told you how they got to this store. Well, Barry Fresh told you how he fell into the U with his mom. And I'll tell you a story about that too after I finish this one. But I had decisions. So I was in high school in Bartram doing my thing, trying to find out where I'm going to go to college. I said, all right, well, I'm going to do 3 schools and that's it. Well, I did 4. So 4 schools and that's it. So one was I applied to FAMU. So I applied there. I applied to Penn State. I applied to the University of Penn. I applied to Miami. So the U. The reason why I applied for the U because the U had a movie theater on campus. And that was the only reason I applied to the University of Miami.
Because we had a
movie theater.
Oh, the movie theater.
Movie theater on campus. I had this big book, probably 300 pages. And I was like, all right, go through it all. I was like, man, they got a movie theater. I'm going to apply there. And that was the only reason why I applied to school. I had no
Wait, so it had nothing to do with the academics, nothing to do with the technology or the networking at the time. Just the movie theater.
Nothing.
Just the guts.
Just a movie theater. Gut feeling about that movie theater was going to be awesome. I can't wait to go split class and watch movies all week long.
Keeping it real. Talk about the split class, boy. Keeping it real. Hey, so are you a big? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
No. So that was that. Got into UPenn. I got into Penn State. I did not get into FAMU. That's disrespectful.
How did that happen?
On so many levels. I don't know. My best friend got in. Best friend Maurice got into it. I didn't get in. I was like, I don't understand how that happened. How do I get into UPenn and Miami? I get into FAMU. Guess I'm not black enough.
They saw the dancing on your application, man. It was like, nah, this is HBC. Yeah. This guy Arthur Faison, he's not gonna fit.
Exactly. So yeah, so that was it. So when I got there, and I chose. I was like, all right, Miami's warm. My mom took me down. We stayed at the. Now this is, man, I got story for days about my path in Miami. So my mom is, she goes to travel agencies. She's old school. She doesn't do the online thing. So think back to 1998, where it's about summertime. This is August now. No, this is probably like March. I didn't make a decision yet where we're gonna go. I got early admission to Miami, so I kind of said, sure, I'll go there, no problem. It is what it is. So mom and I get on our first flight down there. We go down to the school. We stay in Coral Gables, but we stay at the Biltmore or the Biltmore. Mm-hmm. All right. Had no idea where we're staying, so we're like, okay, yeah, the Biltmore, the hotel. We get there, and we're like, yo, this is crazy. Like this, the Biltmore. If you don't know the Biltmore, Coral Gables, it's like one of the most famous hotels. The highest priced rooms. So mom got an amazing deal. I don't know how she did it, but she got a great deal. And we had 2 king beds in this like suite room. Like it was awesome. So she took me on there. We went to the campus, and this is where I met Ian's mom, Kim. So I was like, hey, we were walking through campus, and my mom and his mom ran to each other. They were talking, and she was like, hey, my son's gonna come here. I want you to watch out for my son. She goes, I know you like a great person. You're being students. Take care of my son. And she was like, oh, well, that's awesome. My son goes here too. I'll introduce you to. So that's where that story. So I'm gonna pause that story right there. So then we'll go back to later on.
You and Fresh were freshmen at the same time.
At the same time.
Okay.
Same time. Didn't know each other. Didn't meet. But our moms met first. So then that's where that was. So I'm gonna pause that story until we get to on campus stuff. But yeah, so that was the story. Got there, walked the campus, saw how amazing it was, saw that it would be warm in December, and I was like, no snow in December. I'm coming in. I'm in. So I'm a very simple guy. Very simple. took the road trip down, 28 hours down in a minivan with the family, came down, and that was it.
That was it. Signed the ticket.
And I'm so glad I made that decision. That's the best decision I made in my whole career because it's changed my whole life. Like getting out of Philly and going back, but still going to Miami and seeing new experiences and seeing people and different things. So,
okay, so now let's jump into how it was while you were a student on the yard, man. What was the atmosphere like? What were some of your experiences? And you definitely got to finish up the story about Fresh and his mom.
Yep. So the environment of going to U, being an only child, I didn't mind going down there and be by myself. So most people were like, man, you're going so far. And, people are usually by yourself. I'm like, yeah, it's all good. I don't care. It is what it is. Because I told my roommate at the time, Matt, was like, hey, I'm going to bring everything. All you got to bring down is a microwave. And he's like, what? I'm like, no, seriously. I'm going to bring everything. All you got to do, bring a microwave and all your clothes were good. So,
man, you were like the roommate from heaven, dog.
roommate from heaven. And keep a note on that. Write this down or write something down for this one that to come back to Matt. Because the story about Matt in second semester is going to change the game. But so get into the room, get there, meet my sweet mates, Ryan, who we're still pretty good best friends with. Josh is there. And I just walk around campus. So I'm walking around in my flip-flops. Back then, flip-flops and socks. Because in Philly, that was the time when you didn't wear socks. You would wear flip by themselves. You had to wear socks with them because that was not a guy thing to do. Only girls wore flip-flops. Right
there, pause that. Because like I said, I was Florida born, Virginia raised. And even Virginia people looked at me kind of crazy when I would wear the flip-flops and the socks. But that's just the thing to do in the South. Like, and I'm a man, so I don't have the greatest looking feet anyway. So I don't understand why they call it country and this, that, and third. So I'm glad to see somebody else that can empathize with the socks and the flip-flop game, man. Like, you got to have it. It don't look right no other way.
Well, that was then. Now I'm on my grown man stuff, so I can wear my sliding because I found my Cuban friends, and they're like,
man, you probably the one with the thing in between your toes and what they call it, Shaquette thighs.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't wear those; they hurt. But I don't mind wearing a nice kind of cold flip flop or a slide in. I'm good to go now. I've become into myself. I know who I am now. I know my body. I know what I like. So it's all good. But back then, I was like, nah, no feet out. That's what we do. That's weird. So being in Miami change you up and meet new people. You learn the culture. If you understand, it's more than just what you see around you. So. Yeah, that's that story about the flip-flops and the shocks. So did that, enjoy campus, walk around, meet all these people, start meeting all these Greeks, meeting all the people around, and just got myself involved and walked in the UBS office and was like, hi. And that was it. Like I walked in like I don't know who you guys are, but hi. So just got to know people around there and then started to just walk the campus. And being a tall guy at the time, 98, it wasn't like they were tall at Miami. So you had a couple of the football players and basketball players. So they all assumed I was on a team. And I'm like, no, I'm just art. Like, oh, you're not playing? And I'm like, nah, I can play basketball here and there, but I'm not like great at it because that's not what I wanted to do as a kid. My dad played basketball for the Sixers, but I never thought about, me wanting to play, which I should have done that, but that's another story on a whole different universe. My alternate life, I'd be like, Dwayne Wade. If I could do some kind of Marvel alternate thing, you'll see a different person. But I'm happy where I am, and so that was that. So now on to the story of how me and Barry be freshmen. So, I'm in Mahoney, so I'm moving to Mahoney. So not only did I get to University of Miami, I got to the bomb suites. So I'm in Mahoney.
Oh yeah, man. Gotta shout out Mahoney, man, because I stayed over there too, man. I don't know how they did it in the towers, man. It was like being in the jet.
Yeah, them towers are horrible. They're gone now, hopefully, but those, I couldn't do it. Those single floor, male only, girl only. Nah, I need my own bathroom. I can't do that stall stuff.
Right.
so I, bougie art as he is. I'm coming in there, and I'm on the fifth floor. We're about to have a meeting, and my RA's like, all right, floor meeting, blah blah blah. Ian comes down the elevator, and he gets up on our floor, and he just kind of sits in. I go over to him, like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? From that moment on, me and Ian have been great friends. Like, it was just coincident. We ran into each other, didn't know who was what. Just got to him, was like, hey, what's up? I'm Art. And he said, hey, I'm Ian. And I was like, cool. Is that Ian with the E? Because I don't already know how to spell Ian with an I. So E-A-N? He's like, no, I-A-N. And I was like, oh, the first Ian I ever met. So that was where that started. So yes, then that's where that went. And then we've been ever since. And then I found out that his mom was being a student. We walked in there together, and he's like, hey, mom. I was like, that's your son? She's like, you know him? And it was like really like just boom.
So it was like the stars just aligned right then and there.
Stars aligned right there and then. And I just think that if he had never came down to the fifth floor that day at that exact time, we probably wouldn't have been friends until much later.
Mm-hmm. That's cool, man. Going back to, all right, so you had the roommate situation. You said you was going to talk a little bit about Matt.
Yeah, so Matt, and I hope Matt has changed, but man, Matt was filthy. So I am glad. I'm glad that I got a chance to bring everything I needed, all my stuff, because man, Matt was Matt didn't come back second semester. So let's talk about how we got to the end and then go backwards. So I came back in January. Matt wasn't there anymore. Okay, cool.
So you had a room to yourself.
Double single. Yes. So that was awesome right there. So king size bed, the freshman game was on. So you use your imagination on what a freshman would do with a king size bed in a brand new college in Miami.
And we're gonna leave that there, man. So you said you got involved as soon as you jumped in. What organizations did you get involved with?
My first organization that I got in was UBS, and then Chaos. So Chaos is the dance group that was there. Got involved with them, and those two kind of helped me through my first freshman year. I didn't even just try out for the audition for the dancing process. Got in there. UBS was just a way to get to meet people and understand what's happening. And then from there, man, it's just over the next 4 years just sprawled out. I mean, I was president of 8 organizations at the same time, or 5 to 7 or 8, whatever it was. It was a bunch of them. I was running. I was part of Week for Life. I was part of I was president of the NPHC, which I changed from FBC. I didn't like the way that it said Federation of Black Greeks, so I changed the name of that. So I am the culprit, and the reason why FBC died at University of Miami, because
so are you the reason that the plaque that we have on the rock has all these incorrect dates as well?
No. When I was there, we still had the chalk ground, so they didn't dig up the front yet for the rock. The rock still had everyone. The Kappa had their own chalk things. The Alpha had theirs on the side. We still had the old school slabs. That's new. So I'm not sure who did that.
Oh, okay.
But no. But I did change the name. I just, like I said, didn't like the fact, didn't want to be segregated to being the Black Greeks. And I'm like, well, nationally we aren't the Black Greeks, so why would we do that? And I got pushback, but it made sense to become an NPHC, and that's what we were, and that's how we were able to do bigger things than who we are now at the campus. So, president of that, president of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, yo, shout out to all the noobs. And a Week for Life, I was on bond, I was in student government, I was orientations coordinator, so I did that with Ian and did those things. Oh man, there's just so much that I did on campus. And just getting around, man. My dean of pleasures, James, was like, yeah, now that you're a bruh and you're going to be the president of this organization, you can't be lazy. So I need you to be everywhere.
Right.
I need you to do everything, and you got to make sure you get your grades right. So did all that, and I enjoyed every second of it. That leadership role and those things made me who I am today. It made me the ability to really multitask and ability to handle stress with a smile on my face, because once you go through that process, everything else is
it's
easy
cake, right?
Everything else is that.
Yeah, man, we got a few Greeks on the Fledgeology team, man. So we work well together, though. You know, the competition, it's not as fierce as it probably was when we were all undergrads. And even to this day, I still got a numbers advantage. Shout out Mike D, he's coming soon. But the bruh, Rue. But moving right along, what did you end up graduating with?
All right, so I graduated with a minor in CIS and a major in business management. You and I were on the same path. So when you said you did CIS, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go there with computers. I like building computers. I'm gonna get a job, doing computer stuff and be good to go. I know what computer was, but computer stuff. That was
That's typically how it was back then. You know, it was still a developing field. You know.
Exactly. So, but I made a big mistake. So I didn't know. I signed up for this thing, did all the CIS stuff, went through all the way till about my mid-junior year, second semester. And I'm like, hey, when are we going to start building computers? Like, I want to build them. I don't want to program them. I'm okay with that. That's boring to me. I want to build. And then my advisor was like, what do you mean? I picked not the wrong major, the wrong school. I need to be in engineering.
That too.
And they were like, oh yeah, but if you want to build that, you got to go over to engineering for computer science. And I was like, well, why did you say that in the beginning? When I first got here, I said that was my goal. She said, well, you can go over now, no big deal. You can go over there and you can do that, but you're going to start from the beginning.
Exactly.
And I was like, excuse me? I mean, no, I'm not going to. She's like, all right, so we're going to minor in CIS, we're going to major in management, and we'll just finish off with that. So, it worked out. I might have been in the computer field. I can do computer stuff, but I can never see myself sitting behind a desk. I'm not that kind of personality to just sit there. I need to be out and about. So it worked out well. And then I got my computer background, my management background now. And I'm actually the one doing what I did. I graduated school and I got a job in management. And the long story. So it worked out well for me. Out of our whole group so far, I actually did what I majored in. So it worked out.
Was it? I mean, I feel like the pitfall in that, because we have similar situations in like the counseling for me was the big thing, man. Because I got into CIS just getting out of athletic training, and I didn't have somebody painting a clear picture. So I got in it doing the coding thing, and I was like, this is cool, I can do it. But like you said, that junk is boring. I want to build the computers, but then you 2 semesters in, you got these credits. They talking about switch to computer engineering, and you adding years to my tenure right now. I can't do that. Why didn't y'all tell me this in the beginning? So definitely, if you're a college student right now, take that counseling portion very serious, especially if you are not sure which way you want to go. Take the time, talk about all of the things that are piquing your interest. That way you make the right decision the first time and don't fall into the trap.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. Tell them what your end goal is. This is what I want to do. Am I in the right school for that? Start there and then work backwards, because some things you never know where you might not want to do it, and be in the wrong classes, the wrong place, the wrong things, and the wrong electives. So just take your time with it, definitely.
Cool, man. So you graduated, you got into management with your degree. How has the corporate environment been treating you thus far?
Well, corporate environment is awesome. I'm right now working with Jamba Juice. I'm a business consultant for the franchise team, so I cover the Northeast area. So wherever it snows and there's Jamba Juice, I'm your boy. I'm the one making sure things are going right. So it's been great. I mean, I love it. I love to travel. I love to do things. My energy, my personality fits well with the team. I'm very hands-on, very organically speaking with them. So it's well, but I want to make sure that I understand that I didn't get out of college to go right into Jamba Juice. I did your path. I got out of college. I went working right at GameWorks. This is during the same time that Ian was there. So kind of weird. I'll tell you, man, these stories are all circular. So Ian got there first. I applied there. Didn't get the job because I wanted to be a game host. Didn't get the job there. He got the job. He enjoyed himself. And I said, well, fine. I'll just stay on campus. So I went working on campus at the computer labs. And that gave me access to every single dorm all day long. Imagination. So
Leon Phelps, ladies and gentlemen. Leon Phelps.
So got into GameWorks, went in there as a game host. After college, like you said before, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I got out with my degree. I was like, I don't know what's happening. I'm just gonna, do something for now, make some money. GameWorks was hiring. They were paying, I think, $10 an hour at the time. I made more in college than I did when I got out of college. It's crazy. But I was like, you know what? I need to get a job and do something fun. So I'm there working game host, working my way up through the system, became a assistant manager, game coach, then a server, so I can understand it. And it's a lot of money in serving. So if you're in college and you're doing the right thing, you can make a lot of money on a side hustle or weekends as a server. So don't knock a serving game until you go through the process. But it shouldn't be your end career, but it's a good hustle that's legal.
Right.
So guys became a server, then say, hey, this is cool. I made a lot of money, but I'm not. I paid a lot of money for college. I'm not gonna stay here and be a server. I want to do something bigger with this. So I told my GM, hey, listen, I got my degree in this. I want to go into the office. So he said, all right, cool. We'll give you a part-time marketing gig, and then we'll give you a part-time serving gig. So which means that I will work parties. So all the kid parties, all the the upstairs rooms, that was me. So that's the big money up there. And then on a weekday, I can go to the office and then make phone calls and cold calls and plan out the marketing for the GameWorks. Right now it's called Game Time, but it was GameWorks back then with Sega. And did all that. So I really got a chance to see marketing and see what it is to be a marketer without getting a degree in that. So I got a working degree in marketing, which is pretty awesome. So did that, then became a bar manager, working with the bar, not a bartender, but just managing the bar, make sure it's all right. Then became an operations manager, and then I moved, and Jamba Juice recruited me. So I used to go there all the time, never on campus. I thought it was weird because I'm from Philly and we're gonna do smoothies. Like, what is this fruit in the cup thing? Nah, that's not what we do.
So to save your life, man. Too many cheesesteaks, right? Man. Too many cheesesteaks.
Exactly. Had no idea. So I'm like, nah. If I gotta get meat or Taco Bell or KFC or it is, like I can't do just that juice stuff. So everyone's loved it, but strangely, I would go there after I go to the gym all the time. So I was a big gym rat. I would go to the gym, go to Jamba Juice, and the team there would be like, hey, you should work for us. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. You guys are fun. I like you guys, but I got a job over here. So one day they called me up to the interview, and they were like, hey, you want your own store? And I was like, you know what? Yes, let's do this. And everyone told me, you're going to leave GameWorks, the big staffness, the big company, and you're going to go over to Jamba Juice? That's crazy. Like, this is the one-stop smoothie place. It's just smoothies. And I'm like, you know what? I see something bigger out of this. I see a bigger field. I see them growing. They're a big company. I'm not going to be in Miami all my life, even though I want to come back to it. This is where, I want to make sure everyone, that I get out there and try something different. So I went, and then GameWorks went bankrupt, Chapter 11, which is crazy. And I got out right before that happened, so I was able to move on. And then after that, man, the sky's been the limit. I've been, I'm a commodity in my company. Everyone loves me. I do what I do. I have fun. I mean, I know everyone there. I have a reputation that's great. And man, it's just great. It's a great path. So now I'm in the operations role. So look at your path and where you want to go. But like I said in the podcast, maybe it was 2 or 3. I had a 3-year goal. Every 3 years, I need to move on. So I always told myself that this is fun right now and I enjoy myself, but what's the next step for me and how I'm going to move in 3 years? And my supervisors or bosses or pit boss or slave laborers, however we're going to call it, they knew in about 3 years, if I wasn't moving on, I was moving out. And that was a hard stop for me. So that's where it's been. That's how it worked out.
Cool, man. So with your extensive background in corporate America, what would you give the listeners that are in similar situations with that corporate America job and how to navigate and make the best out of that situation, not just be comfortable and do it day to day just to make whatever numbers and things?
Oh man, I mean, I'm going to bring them the mindset of struggle, mindset of achievement, mindset of being able to float with the crowd. Sometimes you gotta swim with the fish, you gotta be with them. And then the time you're going to jump over them and go opposite of the fish and be able to stand out. So you're going to get the whole opinion because I'm very open-minded. I'm very honest. I have high integrity, and I'm not going to let anyone in my company tell me the wrong thing to do. I voice my opinion, and that's what's got me where I am. But it's a way of doing it, and you're going to hear from me the ability of how to do that information, how to make sure you're saying it the right way, or being respectful, but also not breaking your values and your culture for someone else who's going the wrong way.
Exactly, man. That is definitely what Art's going to bring to the table throughout the rest of our podcast. That corporate America background, he's navigated it successfully, and he still sticks to his 3-year goal. So whether it's moving up with the company or moving out to something greater, that's his goal. That's his way of living. So we definitely we're gonna take advantage of that on the 13th floor. So moving into Fledgeology, sir, how did that come about, man? Or how did your role with Fledgeology come about?
So my role started, oh man, this is probably 99 with Carol, because Carol's always been, I think he's the Ian that was his little brother in the mindset, but Carol was just like a really good friend that was always there, and I could always talk to and really listen to and just see, and he had such knowledge being on campus for the time he was there. I never knew who he was, so really getting that bond and then being brought into the Oasis. So Players Oasis, shout out to the Oasis group. We all were there. It's just a big family. So when it came down to technology, Kay called me and Kay was like, "Hey, I'm ready to do this and move forward with this." And I was like, "It's about time. Like we've been waiting for this forever." And I'm on board. I've always been a giver. Like, I've never asked for much because I've always been a giver when it comes to mindset. So I'm like, all right, what you need me to do? Like, how are we going to jump into this process? How can I assist you and help you? How can I motivate you and push you? Because if you're starting this now, there's no turning back. Like, I'm not going to let you back out of this process. So I've been his backbone pushing mindset to get it started and get it going. And I pass it off just left to right. So I'll give it to Brett for some stuff, and I'll give it to Ian for some stuff. But in the day, I'm calling him like, "Hey, I need this. You need a new messaging. I need you to make sure you talk about this. And you need design logo." So that's how I kind of fell into a role on the CMO, because I'm always making sure that his brand and the mindset technology is on top of mind, and that we got to make sure we're doing the right things with each platform we use. We got to make sure that everyone knows who we are and see that the light that we have shining. And I booked his first speaking event, so that's where technology all came from. So the incorporation of Fledgeology happened because of the first booking event that he did with Art.
That's right. He did go and speak at one of the Jamba Juice joints. That's exactly right.
Yes. And I was proud. And my vice president of operations came in and said, "Man, that guy is really good. Where did you find him?" And I was like, he was a great, I kind of put it as he was a good college friend that was on the path to being great. I didn't want to say he was my best friend, but a great college friend on the path to greatness. And that's where Fledgeology really made his first step.
Yeah, man. And I want to say on behalf of the team, I definitely see the behind the scenes things that go on, and that push I think is very important, because Carol being kind of the head of the ship, having that push behind him, when he may be feeling a certain type of way about different things, is very important, man. So we definitely appreciate you keeping him focused, keeping him, keeping his head on right, and keeping him moving forward as he continues to, try to lead us, and, we help him through this process. So definitely appreciate you on that one, bro.
Yes, sir. This is all love, man. This is for our people. We gotta make sure we're doing the right thing and moving the needle, man. This is just the beginning. Technology is going to be so big. It's a ticking time bomb, ready to blow up and just take over.
Right, man. So I want to bring it full circle now, because we've talked about your escapades as a youth and at college and everything, but today you're a lot more of a family man. So let's talk about the family for a second.
Oh man, yes, Nnamdi Julius Akina Faison. If you don't know him, that's my son. He is the prince of the Igbo clan right now. Unofficially, there's a real prince, but I'm gonna make him the prince. My wife is Nigerian. I'm American. She is the true African American, because her parents are African and she is now in America. So politically speaking, and all the people who don't know want to say, I am a Black American, and that's where that stands. But yeah, family is everything. I'm an only child, so I've always just been me. I had many cousins, but it's just been me. So I've always told myself I'm going to be an amazing dad. I'm going to be an amazing husband. And I live that, man. That's my life. I walk in the house, and after a crazy day at work, I see the joy of my son, and he just lights me up.
It lights you up, man. It makes walking through that door that much greater, right?
Right? Like there's no need, there's no want. It's just like, just a smile, like, hey, you're here. And like, that's it. There's nothing he's waiting for me. He's supposed to pick him up and talk to him. And that's what makes, it's just innocence and purity. If you have any kids, you have a son or daughter, you know what I'm talking about. You don't have any yet, you'll never understand until you have one. It's just the pure innocence of a child that's yours, that just loves you unconditionally for no reason.
Easy, man. How old is Nnamdi now?
Namdi is Namdi's huge. So he is he is only 8 months years old. Or he'll be 8 months and on the 18th of January. But he is about 26 pounds, about 30 inches. Yeah, he's already standing up. I mean, this guy came out the womb at like 9 pounds 6 ounces, 12 inches. Like, he was huge. So he's gonna be somebody's either safety or somebody's forward on the basketball team, or he's going to be the most educated man possible because his mom is all about education, and I want him to have the ability to be street smart and have some skills on the courts or the field. So he'll be a well-rounded individual.
That's interesting.
And really cute.
That's interesting you said that, though, because there's a lot of talk around youth sports these days, especially football with the concussions thing. But you obviously feel that it's still an important part to add to their life if they're interested. Am I wrong?
Yeah, totally. I mean, you gotta, that, like you were saying before, I mean, the team sport gives you that ability to work with others. So having the chance to work with others, understanding who you are as a person and how your role fits into the overall pie of life is important. And that you get that out of team sports. And I want to put him on defense because even though concussions happen, if you're going to do it, give him out. Don't take him. So I want him to be on defensive side. Basketball is easy. You got to take care of yourself, make sure you're doing the right thing. But he might like baseball. He might like hockey. His uncle is big into hockey. So I'm not going to limit him to just the quote unquote black sports. He's going to try everything and be able to see what he loves, and whatever he does love, he's going to be great at it. But I know he's going to have that ability that I have in me, that you want to be the best that you do. So it's going to be cool.
There it is, man. So we got the West Philly, the dancer.
Oh no, South Philly.
I thought I heard West Philly in the beginning. I apologize. Let me take it back.
That's where Bartram's in West Philly. From in school, but Mom said get out South Philly and learn to meet somebody new. So that's why I worked out. But yeah, no, South Philly, born and raised, 22nd Street, deuce.
That's the OG coming out. That's the OG coming out. You heard it there. So South Philly born, University of Miami graduate, family man. I guess reformed ladies man, but family man now. That's Art Faison, man. Before we close it out, is there anything else you want to leave with the audience today?
Man, I'm excited. I'm always happy. I'm always looking for the best in people. I'm aware of the surroundings, but you know what? I want to make sure that the light shines. There's always a way to find positivity in any kind of issue and concern. So that's what I do, man. I'm that person. I'm always going to make sure that it's right. But I will tell you, I won't hold my tongue. That's the one thing you get about me. It may be a rough sentence, but you're going to find at the end of the day that he did the best for me. He wanted the best for me. That's the person I am.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank y'all for listening to us. Art Faison, the CMO. This is who he is, and he's going to take us out of here. Go ahead, take us out, Art.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.
And there it is. Thank you for listening on the 13th floor, where furniture isn't always the best, but the view is amazing.
It's amazing.
We're going to work on that, getting that sync together.
Yeah.
Now is your time to flank.